So what we're getting into now is the next layer of the high performance home, and that's the furring strip. So come a little closer, let me show you this. What's up everybody? I am Adam with Meller Woodworks, and we are in Blanchard, Oklahoma, building our high performance home. It's a 2,700 square foot barn dominium, 2 stories tall, gonna have a wraparound porch. We got our 2x4s. Those are going to install vertically, just like this, every 16 inches on center. And then that's what our LP Smart Side is going to attach to, because we want to keep the warranty on our LP. In order to keep that and to fasten it correctly per their specifications, we need to have our fasteners into 1.5 inches of stud. So that's why we're using 2x4s on the outside of our rock wool rather than just your smaller furring strips, which are like 1x2s, 1x3s, 1x4s, things like that. So we upgraded the furring strips. I keep calling them purlins. They're not, they're furring strips. Whereas my friend Beth calls them furry strips. So this is our template station, we're gonna call it. We created a storyboard out of one of our 2x4s, which is basically just telling us where each exterior girth is behind the rock wool, behind the zip board. So that way we know where to put our fasteners and make sure that we hit solid framing, because these 2x4s are gonna hold up our LP Smart Side. So it's some weight to it, not a lot of weight, but there's some weight to it. So we wanna make sure that it's fastened correctly. Move it. What we're doing is transferring our storyboard marks onto a fresh 2x4, pre-drilling the holes, putting a chamfer, is that a chamfer? I can't remember what that's called, just little divots. Can't remember the technical term for it. And then just transferring all these marks onto a fresh 2x4 and then staging it ready to go on the wall. If you come over here with me, I'll show you on this wall where we already have some of these done. So in my bottom, I just have some pass load nails because I already have a block down here that I can nail into. And at the top, I put a GRK 5 1/8 inch screw at the top. And then every 2 feet on center, we have another pre-drilled, ready to go hole where our GRKs are gonna go and fasten these 2x4s permanently. So I just did the bottom and I just did the top so that I can make sure I'm plumb, make sure all my furry strips go all the way up straight and plumb, and then come back and put these screws in it. But we did these little divots in here. I can't remember the technical term of the hole. Chamfered something, anywho. We did that because our GRK RSS screws, the rugged structural screw, has a really big fat head on it. And if I just screwed it in there without pre-drilling it, well then I'm gonna crush my rock wool. I don't wanna do that because then I lose my R value. And I lose some of my the purpose in the installation. So if I pre-drill, then it's easier to get through this 2x4 and it's not gonna crush it as I'm hitting the framing members behind this wall. And then we put this divot in it so we have some place for the screws head to go. So that way we keep a flat plane all the way across this. If I had all these little GRK heads sticking out of these 2x4s, well then when I put my LP Smart Side on, then I'm gonna have a bump at every 16-inch interval, and you'll see that all the way down the wall. So it takes some more time, but this is a very important detail in this wall system to make sure that your home looks beautiful. High performance is the setup, is the layers, and how they perform, how they react to the weather, what they do when there's water intrusion in the wall, and how it's gonna dry it out, how it's gonna get it out. But we also have to make the home beautiful. when you're spending $500,000 on a house, it's gotta be done right and it's gotta look good. So this does take some time, but it's important to making the home look great. Because if you're standing down this wall and you're looking at it, you'll see where all those screws are. So take the extra time, put your little chamfered hole, whatever this is technically called, so you can hide all your screw heads, and that way you get a completely flat plane all the way down this wall. So on this wall, I got my marks on the wall already, and marks below my window. So then that way I know my measurement for my 16 on center below my window. And again, if you remember in previous videos, if you watch them all, as you should be, 16 on center, you don't have to do the math. Just look for all the red rectangles on your tape. Make a mark, that's 16 on center. And I'm just staging out, but now I'm into a window. And my 16 on center marks are in the middle of the window, so I need to transfer those marks below the window and above the window. So now's where it gets difficult, because I'm cutting out 16-inch on center studs around my window. So I'm gonna get the corner piece installed, and on the corners we use 2x6s just because I want more meat on my corner. And we use a 2x6 instead of a 2x4 because when I put my trim pieces on, the LP trim board on the corners, it just gives me more meat, and I know that I'm definitely gonna hit a stud behind in the corner. Now, when we do throw these up, what we're creating at the bottom here, or in between, is a drainage plane. So in between each 2x4, we have this space where all the water, moisture, and condensation that builds up can have a place to go out. This is also gonna be a vented space. So what we're gonna do with our vented space is at the top and the bottom is, over here, we're gonna throw down a bug screen. So that's what this is. It's a mesh bug screen that wraps around the 2x4 furring strips, and that allows water and air to pass through the bottom without any bugs getting up into our wall system and creating future problems.
Morning light, Louisiana Saturday night.
So I need 23 3/4. What are you stuck on down there? Get in there. You too, get back. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at 23 3/4. So it's literally just gonna be that hole there and then cut. So hole there. Take a sip of my Black Rifle coffee. Best coffee for any job site. Just saying, Black Rifle, if you want to send us a case or two, you know, just hit me up. If you're using a template, mark that it's the template and use the same one every single time, because if your human nature accidentally cuts one a little too short, a little too long, 16th or whatever, you aren't growing it by taking that one that's a 16th short or 16th long because of your blade and what side of the line you cut on. You're not growing it, your cuts and your pieces. If you constantly go back to the same template, you're getting the same exact mark every time, and then you can adjust accordingly with your saw. Don't do that. I don't like it. After we get all that done, we can get straight into LP siding and start throwing the skin on this place, which we're really excited about.